Hello and welcome to another edition of Grubtalk with Toyin. Today we have Ginger Tapas and Grill in Victoria Island, Lagos. We're here to review the restaurant. I've already seen the menu and everything looks thebomb.com. I can't wait to try it out. So sit back, relax, and watch me enjoy. Thank you. Hello again. Like I said earlier, I am at Ginger Tapas and Grill. I'm here with the manager / owner of the restaurant. First of all, this is Amina, by the way.
Hello.
Thank you for having us. We love the place, but we're gonna eat soon, so I'm gonna let you know how that goes. But before that, I just want to know, how did you come up with the name Ginger Tapas and Grill?
Interestingly, I think somebody else came up with the name.
Really?
Yeah. The brand name Ginger, somebody came up with, and then I knew that I was going to do like a tapas restaurant, so we just went ahead with Ginger Tapas and Grill. Before I opened the restaurant, I'd been catering for about 2 years under the brand name Ginger Catering and Events. Now, how did she come up with Ginger? Is the question. I'd met this brand graphics designer, done some other work together, and then I told her sort of about what I wanted to do in my catering and events business. I gave her several names to consider. I gave her several businesses to look at. She comes back with, I found you the perfect name, I already have your logo, and I know you're going to love it.
I like your honesty because Nigerian women be like, I thought about it in my house, prayed about it for 7 days. Then the name came to me, and I could back and tell you, you know. Okay, so tell us, what is the restaurant about?
Ginger Tapas and Grill is basically a tapas restaurant, and what tapas is small plates.
Okay.
So what we specialize in is a lot of variety of small plates, and tapas of Spanish origin.
Okay.
So based on that, we just went ahead with the Spanish Mediterranean theme.
Oh, I see.
So our menu is a fusion of Latin Mediterranean, and of course you have to throw in some Nigerian items.
You also.
The all great asu, for example, is featured on our menu.
I can eat 5 asun plates. Let me tell you, when I was pregnant, that's how I love asun. I had like, you know how tiny they are? I was really pissed off. I just had like over 5 plates eating asun. Trust me, I love asun. Sorry, I'm just sidetracking. You know I love food. After all, this is Grubtalk. So what's your target audience for the restaurant?
Our target audience is really, if we look at it, the mid-20s to 50s, 60s, and that sort of covers young upcoming career people, young couples, workers. I think we have the right environment for the quick lunch grab, small meetings in a lounge. After work, I want to beat the traffic, chill out, and then of course your weekend relaxation. So our target audience is really that young, urban, metropolitan audience.
Okay. So what would you say is unique to Ginger Tapas and Grill that you can't find anywhere else? If you come here, definitely we killed it. What would you say that is?
Okay, first of all, it's the only Spanish restaurant in Lagos. That we know of. Spanish.
Spanish.
So there may be Mexican and others, but it's the only Spanish restaurant. So that's a one differentiator. Then as far as food goes, on our menu, I know also that we're the only restaurant that serves ostrich, and we do like an ostrich goulash, which is like one of our specialties. But having said that, we have several Spanish items that just because there's no other Spanish restaurant, we're the only ones that carry, like the potatoes bravas, which is sort of your seasoned potatoes with like a sauce, very Spanish in origin. And then for everything else that we do that everybody else does, we do very differently. So I think our unique differentiators are menu.
Okay, so that was my next question actually. Like, what is on your menu? Like, exactly.
Okay. So our menu, like I said, is fusion. The theme is Spanish Mediterranean. So we have a variety of small cold plates and hot plates. So the examples of our cold plates would be your cheese platters, a variety of cheeses, the Spanish origin ones like your manchego cheese, your softer cheeses like your goat cheese, your mozzarella cheese, and then the meats are like your Spanish meats. So the hams, the guarico being the specialty, the serrano, which is more of like a beef type of ham, and then we have quite a variety of salads.
Okay.
So some chicken salads, some fish, and then just your regular seasonal vegetables. And then for our hot tapas, again, we have a variety of what are uniquely Spanish in origin, and then sort of fuse some more familiar items in the Nigerian, environment, but into a tapas type serving. So a lot of our plates are small. A lot of our plates are small, but what's really interesting about it is how full you get eating a variety of small plates. Having said that, we have several specials for people with bigger appetites or when you want to sit down to have a dinner.
Yeah.
So on our specials, we carry things like your oxtails, which is our #1 salad.
Oh, I see.
Our oxtails are phenomenal. If I may say so myself.
Tooting your own horn.
If I may say so myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I see the records. So, we carry like a T-bone steak, we carry lamb chops, we carry beef ribs, which are also very popular. We have like a honeysuckle beef rib. And then of course we carry the ostrich goulash that I mentioned earlier. Some salmon dishes. So our specials are bigger plates. And then we have a separate lunch menu, which is smaller items, quick grab, but larger portions. So that people who are coming for lunch get a good feel from about $1.5 to $5. There's nothing more expensive than $4 on the lunch menu.
Wow, that is nice. So like, I was gonna ask, what else do you do in the restaurant? Like, do you have events? Do you cater to other people? Like, if you want something from us for our wedding and stuff like that. So do you do?
We do all the above. We have lots of group events. I think group events are probably the biggest revenue generator for the restaurant, no doubt. From the holidays, we opened in October of last year, so it was sort of that natural timing into the holiday season. So we hosted a lot of Christmas parties, we hosted a lot of send-offs. They call them send-forths.
So you send forths to other people?
We've done several bridal showers. We do birthdays a lot.
Oh wow.
We probably do birthdays at least once a week or every other week, and it depends.
Business is good, right?
Business is okay. It could always be better. We could always fill this place up at all times. But I mean, we're not complaining. We've had groups from as small as 10 to as big as 60, 70. When we have 60, 70, we have to sort of almost use the whole space. Because our main dining sits about 30, 40 for a party. The lounge that we're in sits about another 15. And then outside we sit about another 15. So just depending on what people want to do, we use the entire space, but we use a portion of our space, and then we also do some outdoor catering.
Oh wow! You hear that, people? They do everything. Basically, I wanted to ask you. It's off topic, but I didn't. This wasn't part of the questions before. But when you said this is your restaurant as well, I love female entrepreneurs because they motivate me as well. Because I consider myself as a young entrepreneur, looking up to people. So what would you say were there struggles for you to start your own restaurant? Like with all these restaurants we have in VI, how do you stand out? How do you mark your own mark? Ginger Tapas, we're here to stay, and this is something we do that's different.
Definitely not. I've always read when people say, oh, she's just lucky or he's just lucky. Right? And people say, well, preparation needs to meet opportunity. And I think really that's what it was for me. I was in the corporate environment for 20 years prior to this, and I've been in marketing all my life. So it's been like brand, corporate communications, PR, advertising. So if you think about it, I've always been in the work of building experiences, building brands, and creating stickability. Bringing
stickability, I like that.
I just made that up. You can credit me with that new word. So I think I've always been in the business of bringing people back to whatever it is that I'm selling or promoting. And I've always just been a food lover, a people lover, and a community lover. And so I think over time, my natural progression was to the hospitality sector. And in the hospitality sector, I knew from a long time that I wanted to run a restaurant. I didn't know how, but I wanted to run a restaurant. And maybe about 10 years ago, I discovered tapas. And you know, that discovery for me kind of helped me with concept. I was like, if I ever do a restaurant, it's going to be tapas concept because I really like the idea of small plate eating. I love food, you know, I've said that already, and I tend to want to try everything. So I'm the sort of person who will go to a buffet and I'll take a little bit of a lot of things, not to be overwhelmed, but to try different things. So the idea of dining tapas style, which also is very communal, brings friends and family together. So having figured out that the concept I would like to do whenever the opportunity presented itself in a tapas restaurant, it was just always at the back of my mind. Then I started to cater. Even before I relocated, I worked at UPS, the Big Brown. I think as a creative person, we tend to get bored, restless, so we always want to do different things. So I started catering way back from Atlanta. We do small stuff. My sister-in-law and I started together. She also runs a restaurant now in Abuja. So we did that for a bit and then we relocated. So I moved back about 6 years ago this summer and got my first and only job in the country at ARM, asset management firm. So while at ARM, you know, the itch was still there. And I think it was maybe 2-3 years into my work there, I settled a little in the Nigerian market. I knew that I loved events, I liked the food, I needed to marry them, but I had a full-time job. So the easiest thing was to cater, because I could do it on the weekends, we could start building our own type of menu. We started small, you know, with the chops, but even our chops were different. Like we weren't doing the samosas and the spring rolls, we were doing like the little empanadas, the little meatballs. We were doing it soon, we were doing a lot of barbecue stuff, our own version of a ginger jerk chicken. And over time, you know, honestly, you get to a point where you're like, how exactly did it all happen? Over time, I started writing a business plan. Like, you know, I just started thinking, you know, when I'm done, this is what I'm going to do to open a restaurant. So I started putting a business plan together, and then I shared it. You know, I shared it with a couple of people. And I credit my boss at my old job, DJ. Alright, so like I mentioned, my boss, DJ, is actually who I credit for how I raised funds. I work for an asset management firm. What we do is essentially we take people's money, we help you take care of it, we help you grow it. So naturally, you know, it's what he's good at talking about and teaching people. So we sponsored an event in the entertainment sector, and what most people were asking about was access to funds. How do we access funds? You know, how do we access funds? How do we get corporates to sponsor us? And I had my boss for the first time talking about a concept that is widely known as angel investing. Essentially, that's people you know, friends, family come together to support your business goal, and they put capital into it. So I put my business plan together, and I started exactly as he had said during the during the event. Started with friends and family, and you know, thankfully we didn't have to go to a bank, so we didn't have to get any interest loans. We ended up getting all our capital from family, and then we got started. You asked me about challenges. Without a doubt, the biggest challenge is infrastructure. I think it's just in Nigeria, a lot of businesses, but it's not that you can't get over it, it just makes it more difficult, you know. So from having to redo the facility that we found, to keeping it running, to having a generator, to water problems, those are the biggest challenges I find. Excuse me, everything else comes naturally to me. So marketing my own business, getting people, thankfully, to come and help us market it. I think we leverage word of mouth the most. We're quite active on social media. We have a Twitter page, we have an Instagram page, we have a Facebook page. We've advertised in a few select magazines, and clearly now we're getting acquainted with Exquisite Magazine, and it's nice that we're doing it with an interview so we can talk about what we have on offer. But basically, I think the biggest challenge is our infrastructure.
So, basically, I just want to say thank you very much for having us again. We're about to go in near my lunch date. We're about to go in and eat what they've got for us. So I'll let you know how that goes pretty soon. Thank you.
For the August issue of Exquisite Magazine, Grubtalk with Toyin was at Ginger Tapas and Grill. It is located at the Cosmopolitan Building on 6A Ologun Agbaje Street off Odeola Odeku, VI Lagos. The restaurant opens its arm to us they served us with food I am not going to forget in a hurry. Some of what we had was, the starters was cheese with almond pecans and olives. We had empanada pies. One of the main course was oxtail, and the side dish was coconut rice cooked with crayfish. The dessert was cream catalana. If you're like me and you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry. All the information is going to be in the next issue of Exquisite Magazine. If you'd like to follow Exquisite Magazine on Instagram, it's at Exquisite Magazine NIG. If you'd like to follow Grubtalk with Toyin, it's at Grubtalk with Toyin. Thank you, Ginger Tapas and Restaurant, for having us. This was absolutely amazing.
So I had the most amazing food. Okay, don't let me spoil it for you now, but everything was awesome. And I'm so full, I don't think I can walk. And we had starters, main course, dessert. Everything's going to be coming up in the next edition of Exquisite Magazine. So you can read about my review. Like I said earlier, we're at Ginger Tapas and Grill in VI. Oh my days, I can't even speak. I'm not as loud as I was before, and my lips, all the lip gloss and everything has gone due to me eating. Basically, it's amazing. Follow Exquisite Magazine on Instagram at Exquisite Magazine Nigeria, and follow Grubtalk with Toyin at Grubtalk with Toyin, so you can see the pictures and read my review. And I just want to say the place is awesome. Don't just take my word for it. Just come down and eat. Come down and see it. The place is also affordable. So I just want to say thank you very much to Ginger Tapas and Grill. It was absolutely amazing. And bye, people.